One more thing about your vinyl laminate or vinyl planking flooring that we're going to be installing, or if you're installing a wood flooring like this is oak strips, 3/8 thick, tongue and groove, or if you're figuring on installing vinyl 5/16 planking, or if you're figuring on installing laminate flooring, anything like that. Let's say I've just been talking about how to install the quarter round trim over the top of your baseboard. Now this is if you have existing baseboards, okay? But it's also, most people, like if there was no baseboard in here at all, if this was a brand new place with no baseboard, nothing, okay? The flooring would go in first. Then the baseboard goes in over the top of the flooring. But then you're never going to get tall baseboard perfectly tight down to the floor if you have any dips in your floor, if you have any humps in your floor, and if your baseboard is even taller than this is about 4.5 inch. They have baseboards all the way up to almost 6 inches tall. Now, if you put that over any sort of hardwood, any sort of hard flooring surface, linoleum even, tile floors, travertine, anything, okay? And you decide, I'm going to put the baseboard on top of that. And let's say you don't like the looks of the quarter round trim that's installed over the baseboard. Let's just imagine there being baseboard on the side of this cabinet or on the toe kick, okay? And then you put this trim. This is called quarter round. It's half of a round circle. That's why they call it quarter round, see? See how it looks right there? If you don't like that look, and this is baseboard, okay? You have that quarter round at the bottom of that. Most houses, even brand new houses nowadays, they do that. They do it everywhere. But if you don't like that look, what could you do? Well, I guess you, if you were really good at caulking, or your painter, or whoever's installing the baseboards, okay? Let's say they're painting the baseboards white. Just like the white caulking, you know, bright white. And you got a gap down there, okay? They could go around and caulk your baseboards. You know, if they would pre-finish painting their baseboard first, okay? Then you could take your white caulking and you can give yourself a nice bead all around your baseboards at the bottom. And just a small bead, really nice. Painters know how to do it. You can do it. I've shown you how to caulk a bathtub before. It's the same type of way. I get the caulking in there. I get a small line. I start wiping it off. If I get any excess, I wipe that off on a wet sponge or something. Then I take a wet finger and I keep wiping and I keep wiping and I keep wiping, and that will wipe off any excess that you have on your flooring, and you'd have a nice white caulking bit at the bottom. You could do that. You could do that around your door casings. If any door casings weren't cut perfectly tight to the floor of your new vinyl planking that you paid thousands of dollars for, and the installers didn't install the door casings down tight to it, or they didn't install the door jamb perfectly tight to the bottom, let's say, you can caulk that too. Now mind you, lots of times the doors and the casings will be installed first, and then whoever installs your flooring, if it's 5/16, if it's 3/8, if it's 3/4 inch, they have a special electric saw that cuts sideways, and they set it and they cut off the bottom of your trim and your door casings, and then they slip their vinyl flooring in and around that, or your planking or whatever, and usually they do a really good job. But if you have gaps, you can caulk that if you don't like the looks of the quarter round. Okay, in my case, I can't do that unless I were to take all the baseboard off and then wait until they installed their flooring, reinstalled the same baseboard if I could, or throw it away, get some new stuff. then I'm starting from scratch, putting it on, caulking it, painting it, nailing it, cutting it, installing it, trimming it, fitting it, all that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? I still have to do all that with the quarter round, but at least I don't have to do that with the base. Usually on existing baseboard, you don't necessarily do that, you know. It's a lot more work and more expensive, and more than likely, you're gonna put the quarter round after the fact anyways, depending. Okay, so there's a few options for you when you're deciding to install plank flooring. Well, that's all I have for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.